Hello and welcome to Saturday evening's exciting instalment of the Tea Room. So the show is pre-recorded because I'm still on holiday, so there'll be no interaction from us with any comments that are made. And we are now looking at Brian's second part of his collection, $4,000 and upwards. So thank you again, Brian, for doing this. And
Yep, glad to be here with your lordship, enjoying a brew and settle down.
Yeah, settle down, guys, and enjoy this installment. Thank you, Brian. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. So again, let me just say that this is the first time all these watches have been in one place at one time. So, yeah, wow. I'm very fortunate to have acquired some watches, and from the previous one, people will see the ones that are more easily obtainable or more in the, for lower priced. So this one starts off with, the bottom end of the high price is my Tudor Black Bay Pro silver, or the Black Bay 58 silver. And I had a Black Bay 58 blue. I had a Tudor Black Bay. I had the Black Bay GMT. And when this silver came out, I was automatically in love. Just the coloring of let's see if I can get the coloring better. The coloring of the taupe dial. This is a $15 strap that I found on eBay that works absolutely wonderfully with it.
It does.
Yeah, and it's a super fun, super casual watch, and I'll try to take it off the pillow here so that everyone can see the back of it and how it is starting to do its patina thing. And I got this just a bit over a year ago. It does get.
Well, hang on, it's not bronze, is it?
No, this is silver.
So why is it patina? Just educate me. How come that's patina in when it's not? Sorry, I'm intrigued.
So this is like the silverware in the in Castle Tickers, and the fine flatware that's made out of silver, and you have to polish it.
Right,
this is
got you.
It's a special formula of a pure 0.925 silver that Tudor has developed and uses as a case of a watch.
Wow, excellent. Wow.
And in the Tudor rose is really, let me see if I can get it on the get it to focus there. But inside the rose is where you can really tell that the patina is just taking off.
It does. So you're not going to bother cleaning it at all? You're going to let it just go?
I'm going to let it go. Let it do what it's going to do. Most of the time when I wear this watch, it's a wintertime watch because it's small and simple, and it fits under a sleeve of a jumper or a sweatshirt for those of us. And it's just, again, it's the taupe and the gray strap just give a real warm, simple color to it.
How old is it? How old is that watch, Brian? When did you get it?
I got it about 2 months after they came out, so it's probably coming up on a year old now. I got it on the fabric strap because I really dislike Tudor's their leather strap with their deployant clasp. I really dislike that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And you didn't fancy a bracelet job?
This one doesn't come on a bracelet.
Oh, okay. Didn't know
so
that.
It's either on the fabric strap, on the fabric single pass NATO, or on the on their leather like whatever rubber backed thing, and I hate the deployant. I've actually never worn it on the fabric strap because the minute I saw this watch, I had this strap sitting around, and I was like, well, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's interesting you don't like their one with the deployant. I quite like that, but on theirs, but horses for courses.
I'll show you in a minute because I have a problem with some deployants in that I have, if you put us back on the 3-way screen.
Yeah, sorry, man. Yeah, on the way.
I have a very flat wrist.
Yeah.
I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist all the way around, but it's relatively flat. And
yeah, mine's kind of a bit puffy. Yeah.
You and I are the same size. It's just that you're more closer to the ground and rounder, and I'm further away from the ground and stretched out.
Yeah.
So I have to be careful with deployants that bend and poke right in here.
Got because you don't go with the curvature of the wrist, because right any curvature of the wrist.
I don't have a curve. I've got
No.
I've basically got a pancake. My left wrist is a little more rounded, but that's because I'm left-handed, and we've had that discussion before.
Yeah.
So when I buy a watch, I have to be really careful that the deployant or whatever the opening of it is doesn't bend into the back of this, into the backside of my wrist and become irritating, because otherwise I have to wear the watch really loose.
If you wore it on the other wrist, would it fit better?
Some watches would fit better, but since I was a child, I wore my watches on my right arm. I just always have. And that's the proper way for left-handed people to wear a watch.
No, it isn't.
Shall we argue about that further? And then if we go back to
no, we'll carry on with the watches for the moment. But that's
if we go back to Watchovision, I'll show you the loom on this, because the loom is fun. So it's not really showing too well. There it is.
Wow, it's nice. That's a good loom, isn't it?
Yep, and the pip up, the pearl is slightly loomed. So again, fun, not easily affordable for most people, because I think they're in the $4,000 range. But again, simple 3-hander, water resistant. If I want to swim with it, fine, whatever. Now the next watch I'll show you is the one that proves the deployant issue, because I have a Grand Seiko. It's the only Grand Seiko I own. And as soon as the lighting catches up with us, where's the reflection? I'm getting too much light reflection in here.
I do like Grand Seiko.
This is the Skyflake. I love the blue. I love everything about the watch. I don't mind the power reserve on the front. It's a spring drive. It's absolutely a mesmerizing watch to look at.
You said blue. Where's the blue?
Well, that's from the lighting. I'm trying to get the lighting so that it...
right, on the hands, the blued hands, is it? No?
Oh, no, it's a full blue dial. Let's switch to the other camera.
Right, because I'm struggling there to see blue dial. I'm seeing white as far as the dial goes here, to be honest, not blue.
This is a very pale, it's a very pale blue.
Oh, wow. I mean, it really doesn't show up like that. It's pity that doesn't show. It shows white to me.
Yeah, it's the light. There it is. That's
there it is. You see, wow. Yeah, I can see that now. Wow. Yeah.
And instead of the Snowflake being white, this one is a very pale blue with the same textured dial, and my cameras cannot pick that up. There's a little...
I can see a bit of the texture now. I can see that. Yeah. Very nice.
So absolutely beautiful. When you pick it up and wind it, the smooth movement of that second hand is just
starts,
that's the star of the show, really.
Yeah.
That and the dial. But then and then the blue stitching matches the dial.
Yeah.
The back strap.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can get it shaded. Where is it? There's the shadow. So there's a little bit of it's a pale blue, and it's just beautiful. It would get more wrist wear if this little bend right back here was a little flatter, because that little curve up at the end is what gets me in the wrist. And that's the same thing that Tudor does. Now there's another company that's called Rolex that doesn't do that severe of a bend up on the end of the deployant. The other thing that I think is fun about Grand Seiko is look how thick this is at the backside here.
Yeah.
That is as tall as the watch. Or is that? There it is.
It is, yeah. It is.
So for anybody that's considering a Grand Seiko on a leather strap with a deployant, I would just warn them that I have caught myself catching myself on a desk or a desk drawer or a keyboard or something by bumping up against how thick the clasp is on the back. But Grand Seiko, I think these are $5,800 retail. You know, for $5,800, you get a great watch with a day and a date, and
yeah,
you know, you get some finishing that's beyond anything else. The stuff that Grand Seiko's doing now, I'm not the most recent releases. Not such a big fan of, because they've pushed their prices up without really fixing some of their strap and clasp issues for me. So, but that's just for me. And I can be some, but at the end of the day, if you put a watch on and it doesn't make you smile, you don't feel comfortable wearing it,
you don't, you shouldn't have the watch. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, you want it to feel comfortable, make you happy, and you should be able to enjoy wearing it. And we'll go up in a slight progression here. The next ones are from a famous house of wristwatches. And I say famous because they were the first ones to make a wristwatch. So this is from the house of Cartier. And a lot of people picked on me about this watch, but it's a Cartier diver. It's water resistant to way farther than I'm ever
it's
going.
It's an interesting diver with those numerals, Brian, isn't it? Wow, it really is.
Cartier took some design chances with this watch, but it's a diver with a date with a bunch of lume on it. It's got a bunch of lume on there that's not really showing up too well. It's water resistant to, I think, 1,000 feet.
Oh, really? That's good.
It comes on a rubber strap like this, and I think you can pick them up easily now, pre-owned, in the $5,000 range.
Wow.
So for those of you that are, trying to find an alternative to a Submariner, well, here's a Cartier with a Cartier movement, Cartier history, on rubber, fairly comfortable to wear, and big and easy to see for those of us that have sight issues.
Corrected vision. Yeah. I just think it's a bit out there with them numerals for it. It's just for dive watch, them numerals, it's kind of different. It looks a bit. What size of the case? That strap looks wide. How big is that strap? Is that 24? That ain't a 20 or 22, is it? The lug width on that.
I think it's a 22 on a 42 millimeter.
Oh, sorry, it just looked fairly big. It looked bigger to me than a 20. It might be wrong. Sorry.
No, that's why we have multiple cameras, so that you can show it on my wrist.
Yes, of course.
And there it is, a 42 on a flat wrist.
Yeah, got you.
They were also very smart, and they only put one keeper on the backside, which I do like that, because you really don't need more than one, because you can slide it up.
Yeah.
There it is. I mean, it's just a good, simple, casual-esque sports watch.
Did it get much wrist time, Brian?
It does during the summer. Yeah.
Right.
But I've only had it for about 6 months or so.
Okay.
But when when you go somewhere and you want a second watch that is a little lower key than something that may attract an unsavory type.
Yeah, of course.
And you want it just to throw on and be able to, I hate to call this as a beater watch, because it's not. But if you want something that is, a little less fragile.
Yeah. Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you can still have a Cartier.
Yeah. What sort of price are they? What sort of price are they, Brian?
I think you can find, they've discontinued this model. but I think you can find them pre-owned now in good condition, box papers in the $5,000 range.
Right,
So,
got you. That's good.
yeah, so not not going to kill you, but
No.
you're also not going to pay over market price like you would on a Submariner or something like that. And you get the Cartier history and you get the Cartier style and design. The next one is the Cartier that just came out, and I've had it for 2 months now. And that's the Santos Extra Large with the blue, and it comes on a blue rubber strap. It comes with a blue rubber strap or on the bracelet.
That bracelet looks very mighty fine, that doesn't it? Wow.
The bracelet is super comfortable. And what Cartier did that I really love is they did a double deployant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Look, I still have a sticker on there.
And how much should one of these set you back, Brian?
$7,800 brand new with 2 straps and the box. And here's what it looks like just on the wrist.
Oh, looks nice, doesn't it? That is nice.
And
that is nice, that. Yeah. Looks super comfy, yeah. Wow.
Super comfortable. The rubber strap that they did for it is really nice too.
Is that blue, that rubber strap?
Yeah. The strap is blue, and if you'll bear with me, I'll grab the strap.
Yes, please grab the strap, because I'm kind of a strap guy more than a
I know you're a strap monster.
Yeah, that's nice. That is, yeah.
I'll switch over to the other one, and I'll show everybody how quick it is to switch out the strap.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's see how you swap. Yeah, Sim swaps out. Let's see what it's like. Quick release. Yes, quick release, man. That's what should happen.
Boom. Get your fingernails on it. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Of course, it's a special strap then, so you obviously can't just pick anything. It's got to be one of their straps, obviously. Then.
Yeah, you got to buy their straps.
Oh, that I didn't realize it had the rivets in for that rubber. That looks nice.
It's got
now, I prefer that on the rubber strap. That looks really flashed out with those rivets in. Doesn't it?
I do have a bit of a comfort issue with the bend in the deployant. So if you notice, I strapped it backwards.
Okay.
So
that is really. I think it's really. Yeah, I think it's classy on the. Yeah. I like that. Let's get it under the watch vision again. Let's get here. Can you slide under the watch vision? Oh yeah, I do like that. Yeah. I actually like. Yeah, I like the strap. I like them both. Actually, it's nice watch that.
Yeah. So this is a watch where you can take it on holiday, like you're on right now, and you can take it with the rubber for more casual time, and maybe a little bit more formal with the metal. And again, it's just simply pop that out.
Yeah, I wish I was on holiday, mate. I'm not quite yet. Oh yes, sorry, yes. Just about Saturday, I'll be on my way home, sort of thing. When some people are watching this, actually, I might be home, and I might actually get to watch my own video. Actually, depending how far I am on my journey back.
Yep. And that's it. It's switched back now.
That's quick. I quite like that. I do like that quite a lot. That I do.
So, and this is one of the rare situations. Most of the watches that I own, I bought. I'd say half of them I bought pre-owned. This one I didn't want to wait for it to go pre-owned because Cartier's right now are kind of holding their market value. So I said, why wait to go pre-owned when I could buy it from my local Cartier AD, who also happens to be a Rolex AD, and this makes them happy if I buy it.
It does.
So if really, in reality, I might have been able to save $300 to $500 or $600 down the road buying this pre-owned in 6 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll see coming up the benefits to sometimes.
Of course, that is very. Will it drop quite a bit in price? That was really nice. That will it hold its value, or will it drop?
This large size Santos has not been dropping much more than 20% at the most. It's even pre-owned, they're 10 to 15, 20% below market price. And I was actually wearing this watch yesterday for a little bit, so that's why the time and date is set for for the day we're actually recording this. Don't tell anybody. Look. Ooh. Not exactly a loom monster, because I think the only thing that's loomed is the two hands. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's nice though. I like that. Quite like that.
But fun, 2 straps.
Yeah.
$7,800 plus tax. In England, that's probably 7,400 pounds, because you got your VAT included.
Of course.
Because the queen needs her percentage.
Of course.
And then the next one is probably one of the watches that gets the most wrist time, and that's because it's just super easy to wear. And that's the Breitling Chronomat 42 with the platinum bezel. And this was
like that color of that dial. I love the color of that dial.
Does that icy blue kind of remind you of another chronograph company's watch?
It certainly does. It does, yeah. So this gets the most wrist time out of anything of yours.
Out of the on average, this one does well with wrist time because it's super comfortable to wear, super easy to see, and super versatile because it's got a date, a chronograph that is 200 meters water resistant without screw down pushers, and a dive bezel.
Right, how much does one of these cost?
This was 9,200 at retail, and I don't believe they have fallen at all on the secondary market, and they're not available anymore. They only did a limited run. It does get a little fingerprinty real quick, but that's because it's platinum on a high polish. So there you can see the difference between the platinum bezel and the stainless steel case.
Yeah, that is beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yeah,
but
really again, 200 meters, water resistant with a date, automatic winding on a really comfortable rubber strap.
That could be somebody's one and done, can't it? That could be some, yeah. It could be a one and done, that, couldn't it? Wow.
It could be a one and done, except I would advise that it is fairly thick.
Right, got you. Yeah, it does look that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So in comparison to other watches, it's about 14 and a half, 15 millimeters thick.
Right, got you. Where you got 12 to 14 for other ones, yeah. Right.
Yeah, you know, you get a 9 or 10, and but here it is on the on my
slide it under watch your vision again for me, because it's a good idea then, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, it is quite thick. I can see that. Yeah, it does. Yeah. You probably, you'd struggle getting that under a shirt cuff, wouldn't you?
You may have trouble with a shirt cuff. You may have trouble with a with a tight sweater or sweatshirt or jumper. May not be for somebody who is dressing up for an office job.
No, it's a bit sporty. I'm a bit funny like that with chronographs. I'm a bit funny with chronographs with a suit. I don't think it goes right. That's just me.
I don't put any qualifiers on what it has to be, except it just has to be fun. Give it a wind, and you have to enjoy wearing it. This one I enjoy wearing. I am really liking a lot of the stuff that Breitling is doing now. There's the chronograph is running. I think Breitling is on the correct track for what they're doing. I think this could be my one and done as far as Breitling goes. Okay. And that's the other thing that you'll see as we go through my collection, is that I don't collect just one brand or one thing. I like to have, a sampling.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And then when you get into brands, when you get into the samplings, I like to, I hate to say this as we go into the watches with the big crown on them, that coronet thing. I don't pay hype I am not paying hype prices for anything. I'm not overpaying and over puckering up to an authorized dealer to get myself up a list. I had a famous run-in with the Swatch Group and their Omega boutique in Las Vegas, where she said, "Oh yes, for $75,000 in purchases, I can move you up the list for an Omega Snoopy." I was like, "No, I can walk out the door," which is what I did.
Yeah.
So as we go into the next level, I like to have things that are different. I like to have things that stand out a little bit from the crowd, and then I also like to make sure that whatever I own, I enjoy looking at. This is not the first Rolex I owned, but this was the first Rolex that quickly became a keeper. And that is a 2016 or 15 GMT-Master II ceramic bezel, black with the green hand and the green GMT writing on the dial. There it is.
Wow.
On the Oyster with the Easy Link. This has got all the stuff the Batman and the Pepsi have, except it doesn't have the two colors.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the fact that the GMT hand, which is, why is it hiding? Let's get the GMT hand out where people can see it. I like the fact that the GMT hand has that little bit of, let's go out all the way. There it goes. There. So see how the GMT hand has a little bit of the same green as the GMT Master writing on the dial.
Yeah, see that?
So it just adds a little splash. And this is, for me, this is the one watch that would do it all. It's shiny enough that you could wear it formally. It's thin enough that you can wear it under a dress shirt. It's durable enough that you can wear it every day, including, if you look at the back, look at the scratches that I've put on it.
Yeah.
It works as a travel watch. It tells the date, which I like. A couple of requirements that I have for my watches in order to really be ones that I love. I like hacking seconds. I like a running second hand, and I like a date function. That makes me want to wear the watch more often. If I can hack the seconds, have a date function, and be able to screw down crown. So this is 300 meters. If you need to short time something, I can just move the bezel over there and say, okay, that's where I started timing something. So I can somewhat use it as a dive bezel. I can turn it the right side up for the camera too. So now I've started the timer, and it'll just show me. It's not a real dive bezel because it goes both ways. But again, one of my real complaints with the Pepsi and the Batgirl is that they had that extra color. The Pepsi has the red and the blue, and then the Batgirl's got the blue, and that kind of forces you into a design motif with the blue on there, where this one didn't. It's just got little splashes of green. So that's why you will not see a Pepsi or a Batman, Batgirl, Bat this or Bat that on there. If they came out with one colored after Wonder Woman, I would have been all over it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I have to ask you, Brian, before we go to the next one. I've noticed no kind of field watches in your collection. Is that something you don't go for? I've not noticed any, like the Hamilton khaki field, which I think is it's what I actually want one of those. They're actually a good kind of all, I just noticed no military-esque watches, particularly anything like that. I know military is a special field, but so like the Hamilton khaki or something, nothing like that.
I had in 2006 when Hamilton relaunched in the US, I had the Hamilton khaki King, which had the day and the date on it.
Oh yeah,
the day going across the top.
Yeah.
I went through a period where I wanted vintage watches, including, certain Speedmasters and stuff like that. And the military is just it's not my thing.
Shit.
The closest, the closest I come to that is the Tudor Black Bay, the 58. There's the simple 3-cylinder with a. But
it's marvelous how we just all different. It's it's all you know what I mean. Yeah,
I think
that's
also
what we all love about watches.
I think I realized that if I was in the military and they told me to get up at whatever hours, I'd be like, oh no, you call me back when we start getting out of the O's. I'll be up at 10. And by the way, I need a break to smoke a pipe every 15 minutes.
Got you.
I did own, and I really enjoyed it for a while, was the Weiss Watch Company. He's a guy he's now in Nashville, but he makes a traditional 42 millimeter hand wound field watch that's just, I think they're in the couple $1,000 range for a handmade field watch. But again, part of my motif is that I like, until you get into the dress watches, I like stuff that's on bracelets or rubber. Those get more wear than
NATO stuff.
Than NATO's. It could be that I live in a very sweaty part of the United States too, where currently, as we're currently recording right now, outside it is, it's cool today. It's only 90 degrees right now, Fahrenheit.
Now, what's that in the other money then? 90, 32, 30, 32, 28. What's 90? Do we know?
Yeah, it's probably 30. Well, I can do the conversion here real quick.
30. Well, yes.
32.
Yeah, is that a cool day for you? That
this is a standard summer day.
Wow.
Yeah. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 is a standard summertime day for us for 4 months in a row, 5 months.
Yeah, we're sweltering with that kind of, that's been like for us for a few days, and we're struggling. I'm struggling with that kind of
Yeah, you'd melt your PG tips right off.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So in the Rolex world, we'll go on a little further, because the next watch that I got, that was the one, it was the holy grail for a while until I got it, and I've had it. So this one here I've had for probably 3.5 years. I bought it before the hype went nuts. So I actually bought this for less than retail on a new Batgirl Pepsi whatever at the time I bought it. But then the one that I really wanted, because I think of myself more of a posh boy than a rugged boy, is the root beer.
Right. How old is that? What year is that root beer?
It's from last year.
Okay, it's a new one, right? Got you, yeah.
Yeah. And this was one that I waitlisted and refused to pay the premium for it, because I didn't need it right away. I'm perfectly waiting for it. I also didn't flip it the minute I got it, and there was a couple of points where I had paid a little bit, right around $15,000 US, and I could have flipped it for 28, 27. But I didn't want to do that, because that's not why I bought the watch. I bought the watch to wear it and enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is a watch that you can take on a trip and wear as a casual watch, a sports watch, a dress watch.
Did you prefer this or the last one? Which one do you prefer out of the two?
This one I would not wear if I'm doing anything. If I'm not doing it, if I'm just sitting around the house, I don't wear this. I don't want it banging on the desk here, because I want to.
So the other one is a beater. The other one really is a beater, isn't it?
Yeah, the other one, I don't care if it gets beat up, but this one, I want to keep that back as clean as possible. You can see it's got some scratch marks. Let's see if I can polish it up a little bit. But no, it didn't polish up a little bit. Yeah. But this is a true fine, you know, it's a watch that I can take on I can take this on a trip with me, and if we're going on a cruise or something, I can take this and the Breitling and maybe one of the lower end watches and have three watches, three completely different styles, and have something under the radar, over the radar, and up the, right up the middle.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. And I don't plan on flipping any of this stuff because I'm not a flipper.
No, which is really good. That is, man after my own heart. I don't buy stuff to flip either. I buy stuff that I really, that I want and I intend to keep. Absolutely. I don't, if I get a good deal from a person or a deal, a deal or something, I don't just think, oh, well, take advantage of that and just flip it, make some money. No, I don't do that. I just buy the watch, but I want the watch. I want to keep the watch, enjoy the watch.
And as long as you buy them at the right price and keep them in good shape, you're going to have value growing in them anyway.
Yeah.
That, and we'll move up to some flashy stuff. And I bought this one.
Oh, look at this! We'll put away the that will go. We won't. That's not even in the flashy stuff. Wow.
Yeah. Well,
I expected that at the end.
No,
I expected that to come at the end. You surprised me just by sitting that there in the middle because I thought, oh, hang on a minute, we haven't done all of them. What's going on?
It's a $12,000 watch.
Yeah,
Root beer is a $15,000 watch.
You wouldn't think so, would you?
It's a $12,000 watch. I don't care if some jackwagon is willing to pay $40,000 for it. It's a $12,000 watch. Everybody get over it. All right.
Yeah, it's amazing. You kind of forget that. Yeah.
If my wife decides to kill me, then it's a $40,000 watch. Yeah, because she'll sell it. But yeah, so this is a 1991-92 Surdy sub. Rolex Submariner with the Surdy dial and the black bezel and the two-tone bracelet and the ugly old stupid clasp. Looks like your mother. Looks like your mother made you waffles and then stamped a Rolex crown in it.
I'm a bit Marmite, I'm a bit Marmite on two-tone things like that. With the, I am a bit.
I don't mind two-tone, and when I bought this, the price was so right on it that yes, I bought this pre-owned. I bought it without box and papers. It was about a total of about $10,700 was the sale. And I could have immediately turned around and sold it for $12,000 and made
without box and papers, you could have still got 12 for it.
Yeah, because with box and papers, this watch is about 13 or 14. So, and it's just, again, it makes me smile when I put it on, as it's been referred to before in other YouTube channels. It's been called the Swingers watch.
Why is that? I still need to ask the question. Why is it called the Swingers watch?
I have no idea, but it's got jewels and diamonds.
Blingy, right? They expect you to be part of a swinging club. Yeah.
So you know what? So it's flashy and fun. And again, my lifestyle now is nice, comfortable pants, a nice, comfortable shirt, good walking shoes, and a watch. And that's my lifestyle.
Yeah.
If I'm putting a suit and tie on, somebody has died, and then nobody cares what watch it is. But I mean, that's just 1990s decadence, shiny.
Yeah, it is a bit. Yeah, you're right. Yes.
Yeah, and again, but I bought it at the right price, so therefore I knew that my investment would just continue to go up.
What did they go for now? If you sell it now, what would they go for?
I mean, I've had it less than a year, and it's probably gone up to. I could probably get 12.5 for it.
Wow.
Yeah, and make even with the market crashing like some people say it is, it's not crashing on stuff like this. And even your mate Paul Thorpe said if he was going to park money in Rolexes, he'd go into these 5-digit. These 5-digit model pieces, because they're not old enough to be vintage and they're not new enough to be anything like the new watches.
No.
And then if we can go back to the Watchovision, we'll go even flashier.
Really? No ends to your flashiness, is there? There we go.
Oh, it's frozen up. There it is.
Oh. Wow. Oh.
So, yeah, two-tone champagne dial that seems to be not happy with the internet. There it goes.
Oh, that's proper flashiness, isn't it? That.
Yeah, and this is this is one where, you know, when the dealer, I was on the list for the white or the blue dial stainless steel, and when the dealer called, I said, all right, I'll come down and look at it. And when you look at it and you go, you know, you walk into a room wearing that watch, people are going to notice.
Yes, definitely. So, yes.
If I really want to be arrogant and noticed, this is the watch that people will recognize and see, because, I mean, it's, you know, two-tone Jubilee.
Yeah.
Big,
fluty dial, fluty bezel.
Fluted bezel, the bezel's gold. I mean, it's a 42 millimeter. It wears like a 43 or 44 because it's so big. But again, I could put a casual long sleeve, you know, a casual shirt on and comfortable jeans, and out you go.
Yeah. And you could probably get away with a brown strap on that as well, couldn't you?
I was thinking of putting a red rubber one on there to match the red of the.
Oh no! No! Not a fucking chance. A red rubber strap on that. Don't you fucking dare.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Fuck off,
but that's the fun of these watches. You can screw around with them if you want to.
Not a red rubber. I'm sorry, not a red rubber strap. That's nice. It is nice, but I think a brown leather strap, maybe something like that. Yeah, that's nice.
No, I like the Jubilee.
Nice like that. So that is how much and how much? So how much does that cost you, and how much is it worth now?
It was a little bit over, almost 19,000. I think market value is like 25, 24.
You've had it how long?
Well, the last couple of months have been pretty rough. I've had it 2 months.
Fuck me dead. You're just thinking how many fucking watches you bought in the last.
Again, I would like to say that I'm in a very fortunate position and that I am not the normal, and that, yeah, when you buy a Cartier, a Sky-Dweller, and a Rolex GMT in a period of about 6 weeks of each other, you have you also have to have a very tolerant wife.
Fuck's sake.
And now we go into what I call the high horology, and we'll start off the high horology with on the Watchovision, with a unique, odd piece. And as soon as the camera catches up, there it is. Maybe it seems to be frozen. There we go. That's an H. Moser. It's called the Henry double hairspring. It is a big hunkin' watch. It's 38 by 42 by 52. It's a big block. I'll put it on the wrist in a minute, but it's a unique movement in that it's got two hairsprings working simultaneously. So there's a back shot of it. Don't get excited, but on there is, switch to the other camera for me.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna take it off its strap so that you can see the.
And put some light on here, guys. Just bear with us a second. Put some light on. It might be just a bit better with a bit of light.
There is the back of it with the dual hairsprings and the power reserve on the back.
Okay. Okay.
It is a manual wind. It is a 3-hander. It is a big chunk of white gold. It
That's
is,
nice, though, isn't it? That's nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I do like that.
it is unique. So the reason I like having stuff like this is because every once in a while I want to look, I want to try something on that's a little different. I don't want to
Yeah.
wear what everybody else is.
No, no.
You want to really test the hell out of the watch sale, the salespeople at a dealer. Go in wearing something different and see if they
Make of
notice
it.
it's not a Rolex, Cartier, Tag Heuer, Breitling, whatever. See what it's really, for me it's fun sometimes when they say, "Oh, you don't have this." No, I have that, but I'm wearing this.
Yeah.
But here's a shot of it on my wrist and clamped down. So,
Okay, watch your vision, please.
yep.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Wow, that's nice. I like that. I'm getting to like square watches now. It's your fucking fault. I know we never used to do square watches. I do used to like square watches at all, but I'm getting to like them now.
Yeah, and it's not, it's not a watch that's easy to read. I'll wind it up.
Price of them, how much are they?
I would say, according to Chrono 24, it's about 15, but there's not a lot of these
Wow.
on the market. This was according to Bill Sanders, the guy that has the Watch Art Sci channel. He's the one that kind of inspired me when I saw this, and to keep an eye out for it. It's just not. There's not a lot of them, and Moser told him that it was very complicated to make, and in some cases it was harder to make than a tourbillon is.
Very
So
nice. I like that a lot. I do like that.
this may be the piece that we see show up in a Christie's auction somewhere down the road, and we're sitting here on YouTube watching it, and I'm sweating to see how many millions of dollars it goes for.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Another question for you, Brian.
yeah.
Birth-year watch.
Don't
Do
care.
we have one or not? Sorry?
Don't care. They didn't make watches.
Really?
I thought about getting it. I thought about getting a birth year Submariner because at least those are easy to deal with, or a birth year Speedmaster.
Right.
Vintage is really not my thing. I really learned that vintage vintage is not my thing. Watches of historical interest are interesting to me, but to me it's like cars. Vintage cars, you need to be able to work on them. You need to know about them. You need to have to spend time with them in the garage.
We don't do that with watches, but watch different, isn't it? No.
But even with the vintage watches, you need to have a good watch repair person. You need to be prepared for them to have problems. You need to have them serviced. Modern.
Yeah.
It just isn't my
thing.
I tried and it didn't work.
Okay.
Now, the one watch in this collection that is not here because it is at service right now is my JLC Reverso dual time with the big date automatic. It got a boo-boo and it had to go off for service. And
so what else? Go back to vintage. What vintage have you tried and failed and not liked then?
Speedmasters. I tried a couple of the lower price vintage stuff. Some of the 1960s, 1970s stuff that
okay.
Because I was looking at one point, I was trying to buy watches that resembled higher dollar watches or more modern watches, but were on a discount. And I think if you want to save some money, you can buy some vintage stuff because there are some really good 1970s Speedmasters that sell for dramatically less than the new ones do. There's some, a 1980s, early 1990s Submariner sells for less than the new ones do. You can find stuff. Try finding a two-tone sub right now is what, $15,000, $16,000, $14,000. You can find a two-tone older sub for 11 or 12.
Right, got you.
You can find some, there's a lot of, especially if you're into divers and the military watches, there's a lot of vintage stuff out there that you can own, that you got to have somebody that knows how to service them for you. Otherwise you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise you end up with a metal paperweight sitting around your house. And then we will finish this off with what I wanted, which was the Holy Trinity. I wanted a representative of each one of the brands of the Holy Trinity. And I didn't care if it was the hype models. I wanted ones that I liked. I wanted ones that I could find at a price that was comfortable for me, or at a deal that was comfortable for me. And so into Unbox-O-Vision, or Watch-O-Vision, comes... Oh, I can't get them all in there at the same time.
Oh.
Let's see. We do that.
Wow.
And then we do that. Because the paddock doesn't have a pillow. Actually, I could.
Yeah, now the one on the left, the Patek, is what you brought with you, wasn't it? When I tried on in London, yeah? You had that with you, didn't you? Yeah, that was beautiful. What a fighting nice watch.
That's the Patek that...
Yeah, man, beautiful.
That I absolutely love. There's...
Yeah.
The watches that I'm showing right now, they're... there's a few in here that if I needed to improve on, I would. This one, I don't see much way to improve on this. It's an annual calendar, moon phase, 20, day night indicator, white gold, super comfortable, simple dress watch. That on the Watch-O-Vision, I'll show you on the
other one. Let's have a look.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, you should say show the other ones. What did do? Yeah, beautiful. That is beautiful. Can we get that? Shall we? Can we get that Watch-O-Vision over the top of the others?
I can move the others.
So we can see that. Yeah, that's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, that's lovely.
And it is just super comfortable to wear. It's really discreet when you think about what it really stands for.
Yeah, and what it yeah, if you know, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, in white gold and black and gray, it just kind of blends in.
Right. So the others. So basically, out of the three, which one do you prefer out of all three of these? Which one? Your favorite?
Oh, you're making me pick favorite children. What did your parents say? What did your mom say when she was asked? So the Vacheron, I really like. The Quai de Lille has a case styling to it that I think is unique. It's got an Art Deco era style to it. Again, it's got a different... the date pointer goes around the date disc in there. Trying to get this glare is a mess here as the sun has come out.
Still nice. That is beautiful. That yeah.
Stainless steel. The AD ordered the gray strap for me to match it for free. Comes with a rubber strap and a brown strap that looks like it came out of the backside of a dog, because it's that exact color. And then the AP. I think the code 1159 has been drug through the mud a little bit, because it's not a completely different watch than the Royal Oak, but it's a distant relative of it. The date at 430 is Royal Oakish. The interior angles on that, it's got a hexagonal interior case line that are Royal Oak-esque, but the way they curved the crystal and did this case, it is phenomenal. It's super comfortable. I can be walking through the mall, and this watch retails now for 32 to 34,000 US. I can be walking through a discount mall and most people would think that I'm wearing a fashion watch.
Yeah, it just kind of look that way, doesn't it? Yeah.
It does look that way, and I'll put it on the wrist so that everybody can see. It comes with a blue leather strap, and then it comes with this Kevlar and rubber backed strap. Like I'm going to go swimming with this sucker, So they give you a strap that will deal with the water, but actually it just works well in real sweaty weather.
Yeah. That's nice. That really is nice. Yeah.
And for me, with my, for a watch that I would want to wear in public somewhere, it's got the right amount of flash without being a solid gold bracelet.
Yeah.
And when I got this, I was, be honest with you, I see a lot of people with Royal Oaks. I would love to have a Royal Oak, just a standard, jumbo 39 millimeter day date stainless steel. But this is half the price of those. And you get so much more watch, in my opinion, because you get the gold case, you get the case design. Look at I have a thing for evacuated lugs. So that's got hollowed out lug structure, and the paddock does too.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that stuff as well. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
I'm a huge fan of JLC's watches until you look at the case design, and then you're like, well, what the hell did you guys do? Just slap it in a regular,
Yeah.
And then you get to see the movement.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's do that. Wow, look at that movement.
Where is it?
Yeah.
There it is.
Nice, beautiful. So prices on all these three?
Oh boy. This is the least expensive at like 12,000 now on the market. The cable wheel got discontinued. I think the 28 is probably pretty comfortable for the AP.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but I think the paddock is around 47 or 48.
Wow.
But that's my holy trinity. And the Holy Trinity does not get to hang out together that often because I don't like having them, even though I've got 2 safes here in the house now. The bank is nice enough to give me one that's even more secure.
Oh, right. Wow.
So there's the...
Oh, so you keep them in the bank then?
Yep.
Wow.
I tend not to try to have anything on hand that will exceed my my insurance policy.
Right.
But yeah, that was my goal, was to create was to have a Holy Trinity collection. And there's the 3 of them.
Wow. Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Brian. What a wonderful collection, guys. I think you'll all admit, absolute wonderful collection. We thank you, Brian, for doing that. Okay, guys, before we wrap this up, I just want to give you a quick as this Saturday, coming this Monday is a special show. It's the 4th of July, American Independence Day, but that is not the reason. The reason for the special show is it's 2 years to the day since I actually started my my YouTube channel. I started my YouTube channel 2 years ago to this date. So I'm having a special show and a party. So please come and join. I'm going to try and get some special guests on. I'm going to try and see what we can do. So if you can all join me on the Tuesday, the 4th of July, it'll be absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to wrap this up now. Thank you so much, Brian, for showing us your collection.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and watching. And we're all back to normal next week. Thank you very much. Well, I say normal apart from Monday.